Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to do a 2020 presidential election prediction between Chris Murphy, the incumbent senator from the state of Connecticut, and Donald Trump, the current president. So Chris Murphy is a Democrat from the state of Connecticut, and he's up for re-election this November. And since Connecticut's a solid blue state, I think he would definitely win his re-election. And Murphy is a prominent and outspoken advocate for gun control. He filibustered a bill in 2016, and a gun bill to be exact, and he made points for gun control measures and succeeded in pushing for them. Some measures like background checks and some restrictions on certain groups, and something like that. And he's become very popular within the Democratic Party, and moreover with gun control folks out there, and he's become renowned since. And on the Republican Party side, Donald Trump, you all know him obviously. He's the incumbent president, and his approval rating is climbing up. It's on the rise, and it's currently at 46%. And the reason I think it's going up, it's increasing, is that the economy is doing well. It's growing at an impressive pace, and the GDP growth in the second quarter of this year was at 4.1%. The unemployment rate fell down to 3.9%, and millions of jobs have been created and added to the economy. And the president likes to bring these numbers up and claimed credits for them. And a lot of people seem to give him credits for that, and that's why his approval rating is on the rise. And a lot of people favor how he handles the economy. And actually, the situations around the world are going pretty well, and I think that's also another factor that affects his approval rating, and why his approval rating is doing well. So and also, the president's intra-party approval rating is at an all-time high. His approval rating in the Republican Party is at 88%, and in fact, that's the highest intra-party approval rating for any Republican president, and that's historic. And things are probably in Trump's favor. And so now, without further ado, we're gonna fill off this map firstly with the states that are safe for Murphy, and then states that are safe for Donald Trump. So Murphy has 482 electoral votes, and Donald Trump has 480 electoral votes that are safe. So first we're going to start from the Northeast. So the state of Maine, I think, would be won by Murphy, since he's a Northerner, and he appeals to Northern people. He has some influence in the North, and he has that Northern appeal. That's why he would win the state of Maine and the state of New Hampshire. Oh, sorry. But the second district in the state of Maine, I think, would land in the Trump column, mostly because he won it in 2016 overwhelmingly, and also his it's a rural area, and Donald Trump has that rural appeal, and he appeals to those voters in that district, and that's why he would be able to carry its one electoral vote. And now, going to the state of Pennsylvania, well, I'm not gonna fill that state yet. The Rust Belt, I'll leave it for now, and we're gonna go to the West. So the state of Nevada, I think, would land in the Trump column, because that his approval rating in the state of Nevada is quite high, and Donald Trump just lost the state of Nevada narrowly in 2016 to Hillary Clinton. And there are a lot of Hispanic voters in Nevada, though, but the president's approval rating among Hispanics is increasing, and his approval rating among African Americans is also increasing. It's at 29% from like 10+% last year, and I think that's the thing for him. And also, Chris Murphy doesn't have that doesn't have that Western appeal. He doesn't appeal to voters in states like Nevada. He doesn't appeal to voters in states like Arizona or yeah Nevada, and that's why I think Donald Trump would win here, and yeah, Donald Trump would also win in Arizona because of the same reason. But the state of Colorado and Mexico, I think, would be in the Murphy column because these two states are pretty liberal. They've become more and more liberal since like the election of 2008, and it requires a candidate who appeals to moderate and educated voters to win these two states. Not it's somewhat like not only moderate and educated, but also more like a libertarian people in here, and someone like Ron Paul would be able to win the state of Colorado, but New Mexico, that's a different story. New Mexico is more liberal than Colorado actually, and I think it's extremely hard for a Republican to win there anymore. Well, except for someone who has that Hispanic appeal, but obviously Donald Trump doesn't have that appeal, so I think he would lose these two states. And now going to the state of Iowa, I think Donald Trump would be able to win it. He won it overwhelmingly in 2016, and it's a rural area. A lot of voters who work in the agricultural sector of the economy, and Trump appeals to those voters. I think that would easily hand him 6 electoral votes. Now the state of Florida, I think, would be landing in the Trump column too, because the president's approval rating in Florida is increasing. His base in the state is expanding, and there are a lot of conservatives moving into Florida for a lot of retired voters are moving into Florida for retirement destinations, and the state of Florida is becoming more and more Republican. Actually, it's trended Republican. Now I think, and Murphy doesn't appeal to those voters in Florida actually. So I think its 29 electoral votes would be given to Donald Trump. And now the state of North Carolina, I think, would also go to Donald Trump because it has that red identity, and it's pretty hard for Murphy, who doesn't have that African American appeal to minority voters. It's extremely hard for him to win in states like North Carolina or Florida, and these two states are trended Republican, and well, Donald Trump would handily win in the state of North Carolina, but he would lose the state of Virginia because Virginia has become more and more liberal, and it's becoming more and more strong. It's a strong democratic. It has a strong democratic identity, and Donald Trump wouldn't be able to win it, but Donald Trump would be able to win the state of Ohio. Ohio is trended Republican, and a lot of counties, a lot of rural conservative voters are for him, and he won it overwhelmingly by around 9 points, if I recall it correctly, in 2016, and I think that's a big win for Donald Trump, and a big flip from the election of 2012 and 2008, and it's impressive, and Donald Trump would be able to win there, and also he has that incumbency advantage, and he has that advantage over Murphy, so he would be able to carry Ohio's 18 electoral votes, and he also would be able to win Minnesota and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Murphy doesn't have that Midwestern appeal. He doesn't appeal to those working class voters, and Donald Trump's approval rating in these states they're low, but they're still in a range that can rebound and push him to victory. And in Minnesota, this is a flip, and a major flip. Donald Trump just lost the state of Minnesota in 2016, but by a very small margin. It's just 1 percentage point that divided Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and in this case, Donald Trump has the incumbency advantage, and he's becoming more and more popular. He would be able to win Minnesota's 10 electoral votes, and Plus, Murphy doesn't have that. He doesn't appeal to those Minnesota's voters. So, yeah, it's 10 electoral votes would land in the Trump column, and it's the same story with the state of Wisconsin. A lot of counties in Wisconsin has become conservative. They have moved Republican, and the president's margin of victory here in 2016 was bigger in than the ones in the state of Michigan and Pennsylvania. Actually, I think it would go for Donald Trump again if things don't go right, of course. And Murphy doesn't have that appeal to those workers in these states. I think Donald Trump has a good chance because of that. And the state of Pennsylvania, it's the same reason too, because the Republican base here is expanding. The president just went to campaign there um, recently. I can't maybe just in recent days, and his base there is expanding, and a lot of steel workers are for him because of his tariffs on imported steel, and that would push him to victory in the state of Pennsylvania. But the state of Wisconsin, I think it's a different story. Murphy would be able to carry its 16 electoral votes because Donald Trump's approval rating in this state is very low. It's in a dangerous range, and I don't think Donald Trump would be able to rebound in the state, and yeah, Murphy would be able to take its 16 electoral votes because of that. So this is the final electoral map with so there's a major flip in the state of Nevada and Minnesota, and a flip in the state of Michigan. So yeah, Donald Trump wins with 306 electoral votes. It's the same number that he got in 2016. So yeah, this is how things would be if situations don't go right, of course. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. You can comment down your suggestions below. Comment down your opinions in this comment section, and you can subscribe to my channel for more political videos like this. You can like and share this video, and also you can watch my other videos, the ones that are shown in the screen right now, and I'll see you all later.